Guys, welcome back to another one of my videos. Today we are just going to make sure that all the motors are spinning correctly on my ZMR250. As you know from the previous video, I have replaced a broken arm because one of them broke in a crash. That was unexpected, as they usually are. Now I'm just going to plug everything in and I will make sure that the motor is spinning correctly, and then we'll do some line of sight flying. So first things first, I'm going to turn my transmitter on and then I'll plug her in. I've removed all the props just for safety reasons, of course. Plug her in. I've armed it, but it seems that my beeper from the accident has been broken, so you can hear a small beep. Okay, that is broken. That must have been damaged in the crash, which is most likely. Alright, so I'm just going to power this up. I've armed it. Now, as you can see, this motor is spinning the wrong way. So what I need to do, unplug two wires and switch them around. Now, it's really good to have your ESCs on your arms so that you have quick access to them. It makes it a lot easier because some people just have the ESCs underneath on the body, but if you have them here, it's much easier. So let's test this again. Make sure it's spinning the right way. Start them up. And it is spinning. That is good. Okay. That's just making sure that everything is spinning correctly. Okay, now I'm going to... So, the rule with turning off, I'm going to turn the transmitter off first. And then you unplug the actual unit. That's just a precaution, just so that it can arm properly and for safety reasons as well. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to set this up so that I can do my fix-up on the actual flight controller, because that has been smashed, and I am going to quickly glue that back together. Let's do it. Okie doke, so what I have now, I have some super glue, a blank piece of paper. I think my dad was showing someone how to do their homework, and I have the flight controller. I've just quickly whipped it off the machine for now, making sure that I know where all the plugs are going to go in the future. Okay, so as you can see, it's been a pretty bad break, and it's actually snapped the screw mount. So what I will need to do, I'm just going to take out that screw. Oh no, I won't take out that screw. I'm just going to glue it back in place because that screw is already fully in, and it's just going to screw back into a broken piece of plastic anyway, which isn't going to make much sense. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to open that up a bit. Okay, make sure it's nice and loose. Get the super glue. Making sure I'm not getting it on my fingers. I'm going to just test it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to open that up there, and because there's a broken piece of plastic there, I'll just do a dab of super glue on there, making sure I'm not getting it on anything but what I want to glue, and I'm just going to push that down onto it. So I'll put that aside, I'll push it down onto it, and I'm going to hold it there while I glue the rest. So I'm going to hold it there, and I'm just going to get the glue, and I'm going to go along this crack here, okay, with super glue. So we'll get it, and we'll just lightly go along, making sure we're just getting a little bit of glue in the crack, just so that it can bond together. Now we do want to make sure, this is the most important thing we do, is make sure that these buttons are still going to function, because we really desperately need them for programming the actual flight controller. So I'll just glue that. I'll wait for it to dry and then we'll carry on. Alrightio, so that has pretty much dried now, and now I have a missing piece of plastic from this area here. There's a triangle piece missing. So what I need to do, I need to get it, and I just need to coat inside the hole, and I'll let that dry. And then we need to do another coat, and then another coat, and we'll do 4 coats, I think. Okay, now I've let that dry, so I'll just get the super glue again, and I'm just going to go back over that. Just a little bit of super glue in that hole. I'll go up the crack again as well. With super glue, you usually have to do around about 2 layers, just to make sure that it bonds correctly. So we'll let that dry, and then we'll do the next coat. Alrightio, that's dry now. So we'll just do another coat. I think I will only do 3, so this will be the last one. We'll make it a good, nice, even coat. We'll let that dry, and we will be ready to go and fly. But for now, I've just had some mail come in, and we have not 1 but 2 new replacement motors for my ZMR250. This is just backup, just in case I have a really bad accident with it and lose magnets or whatever, because these are the right size magnets. We did order 200 magnets for the motors, but the problem we are having is trying to get the orientation of the motors correct. So that's one problem. We need to figure out how to do that. But when we do that, we'll be able to replace magnets in motors, or we'll just swap them around, and they do come with a little bag of bolts. So that's really exciting that we have spares for that. After this dries, I will put it all back together, and we'll be on to the next stage, which is getting the FPV gear up and running. So I've got all that put back together. So I've got all the wires plugged in again, ready to go. That crack is looking good now. I will put all the propellers on after we do the FPV. Guys, that's it for today. Sorry that I didn't get any flight footage time in for that. I realised that I'm not actually ready to fly it yet because there are still loose pieces, and I don't want to damage it until I have all my FPV stuff on. I don't really want to fly it until I have FPV set up properly. As always, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.